He's a black Jedi.
This is so completely stupid. There is a rumor going around that James Gunn is fired from the DCU when Warner Brothers sells. Look, I wasn't even going to cover this topic because it's just a rumor, and I'm like, okay, that's just something to get clicks that people are saying, but more and more people are starting to cover it, and the more I started to think about it, the more and more I'm very concerned and worried that this rumor, this article is actually true. More and more places are starting to cover this, and it's got me a little bit nervous. Once again, let me say, if this is true, this is the dumbest thing that the new owners of Warner Brothers could possibly do. And we think the new owners are going to be Paramount and Skydance, and they are part of the reason why I think there might be some credence to this rumor. We'll get into that in a second. Let's read the article that is making rounds, which started this whole mess, this whole kerfluffle. I can't believe I just used the word kerfluffle, but so this is coming from Cosmic Book News. I'll be honest, I don't really trust them. I think they've gotten some things right before, but you know, they're also just kind of clickbaity in general. James Gunn out at DC with Warner Brothers sale exclusive. Of course, it's an exclusive. Everything's an exclusive when you're clickbaiting. It says, with Superman reportedly bombing financially and with Peacemaker Season 2 flopping with fans, I reached out to my insiders about the state of the DCU under James Gunn. I feel like we have to do quotations on insiders, but to be fair, like I said, I believe they have gotten some things right in the past. So maybe they do have sources. I don't know. But we should address the fact that Superman bombing, I don't know about that. I wouldn't say it bombed. It didn't make a ton of money, sure. I'm not even sure that it really turned a profit, just when you look at the fact that it had to pay for its marketing budget and things like that. But I wouldn't say that the movie bombed. Peacemaker Season 2, yeah, it wasn't great. I actually did a video about that on my main channel. I didn't like that season nearly as much as the first season, but I don't think that's any reason to panic about the state of the DCU as a whole. I liked Creature Commandos, I liked Superman, and I think DC is in a place right now where they just gotta rebuild, because Zack Snyder, in my opinion, just did so much damage to the brand, and it wasn't just his fault. Warner Brothers in general did so much damage to the brand before James Gunn stepped in. So it's going to take time for the public to come back around and want to give them a shot. And let's be honest, Marvel isn't doing them any favors with a lot of their movies not being so great anymore either. Superheroes just aren't what they used to be, I think, for the common person. So it's an uphill battle right now, but they need to stick with it. Let's get back to the article. The short of it is that James Gunn will be out as the head of DCU with the WBD sale. I'm told if David Ellison of Skydance Paramount buys WB, that will make Mike DeLuca in charge of DC and do a completely new start. Okay, I'm jumping ahead. What you're seeing is the future right now. I'm not even gonna read all this article because I'll be honest, it kind of reads like a hit piece on James Gunn. It seems like it was written by someone who really just doesn't like James, or at least doesn't like what he's doing with the DC universe so far. And so they kind of just like, there's big hater energy in this article. So I do just want to skip ahead to one thing that he said is interesting. He says his sources told him that if Warner Brothers gets sold, that whoever buys it wants a completely new start. That is such a dumb idea. Honestly, if they do that, I think that DC as a brand can't recover, at least not in the movie theaters, obviously. Like it's over for DC as a brand if they start over again. Also, love or hate James Gunn, I think he's proven his track record with Marvel that he can make great movies. I really enjoyed Superman. Whatever you want to say about the box office, the Suicide Squad was great. Whatever you want to say about that box office. But I am worried because we know Warner Brothers is going to sell eventually. And that is something that tends to happen when a company is bought by another company. a lot of changes happen in leadership roles, especially if Paramount is the one that buys Warner Brothers, because I think there was like a buyout or like a merger that happened with Paramount and Skydance, and when that happened, a lot of things in the leadership roles got mixed around, and people were moving to this place, or some people left entirely and new people took their place. And there's a lot of things in Hollywood that I feel like already are just nepotism. So it wouldn't surprise me if someone feels like I could do a better job than this guy. So that's why I am a little bit worried that, this rumor might just be a rumor right now. But there might be some truth to it. Even if, this guy's full of shit and he didn't have any sources reach out to him, I still think that he might just be reading the tea leaves kind of, because this thing is known to happen when mergers or buyouts happen. So I'm worried, but I think it would be really dumb for them to make this decision. I think you gotta give James some time to really cook and really see where he's taking this new universe, because we can't afford to reboot this thing again. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? How are you feeling about the DCU so far? How do you feel about James Gunn? I don't know. Whatever you're thinking about this whole situation, comment below. Let me know. And this is... Oh, man, I really hope this doesn't happen.